TYT Sports, everybody, Ben Mankiewicz here. So the NFL Nation has asked a very intriguing question. They asked 100-plus players the following question. The only way I would play for insert name of team here is if they doubled my salary. What team do you think was the runaway winner for the team that these NFL players would least like to play for, that would require a doubled salary? Was it the Dallas Cowboys? It was not the Dallas Cowboys. It was a little trick I did there. No, as it turns out, it was the, I can't remember the name of the team. It was the Oakland Raiders. Of the 82 players who answered, 23% of them named the Raiders. It wasn't quite the runaway I said it was. Followed by the Buffalo Bills, 19%, Cleveland Browns, 16%, Jacksonville, and then surprisingly Green Bay. Leave that up there for a sec, because what that tells you, first of all, the 23% for the Raiders tells you that, that's seen as a bumbling organization that can't get anything right. And that's true. 11 straight non-winning seasons. Haven't made the playoffs since 2002. It's when they went to the Super Bowls and lost to the Buccaneers 94-6. But Buffalo, Cleveland, Jacksonville, those are all small markets. And that's why Green Bay's on that list too. Like, guys want to play in what they perceive to be a big city where there's action and nightlife. I think that's a big part of why Buffalo and Cleveland aren't there. Again, I'm not saying Buffalo and Cleveland are little cities, but they're not seen as fun, hip places at all. Literally, because LeBron is now in Cleveland, my hunch is if you took this poll again next year, Cleveland drops off. They drop from 16% to 10%, something like that. Also, obviously, with Buffalo, in players' defense, it's not just that they're looking for fun at night. Buffalo and Cleveland and Jacksonville are also, Cleveland hasn't had a winning season since returning to the NFL. Buffalo hasn't been in the playoffs in forever. Neither of those teams have had a quarterback in forever, Jacksonville included. The Packers has to be just because guys don't want to play in somewhere that's that cold and that small and that there's nothing to do. But the Raiders winning is because the Raiders blow. Here's that next line in Rich Cimini's piece in the ESPN.com. These are tough times for the Raiders, who've endured 11 consecutive non-winning seasons. As I said, the 2002 season when the Buccaneers routed them in the Super Bowl. There was pushback on this from former Oakland Raider great Jacoby Ford. Here's what Jacoby had to say. I think people have a certain persona of the Raiders. When you've actually been in that organization, you know how it is. That statement isn't true. I've been in that organization. Anyone who came to the Raiders, it was always, I wanted to be a Raider. They loved the silver and black. I got to be honest, I've now read that 4 times. I'm not 100% sure what Jacoby Ford means. I have trouble following the logic of that. But basically what he seems to be saying is, I love that organization. And he'd love to be there, and he'd want to play for them. Jacoby Ford, right now, I think would love to play for anybody. He was just released by the New York Jets after 3 seasons in Oakland and 57 career catches. Jacoby Ford, a tough bastard, Jacoby Ford, but as Jason pointed out, only 5'9", but blindingly fast. There were some other quotes in that piece, too, from some former Raiders. Who was surprised by it is current Raider Charles Woodson. I've never heard anybody that said they didn't want to play for the Raiders, so that's pretty shocking. I think you've got to take the attitude that if you didn't want to come here, it doesn't matter anyway. Over the years, I've known and talked to countless players that said, man, I would love to come play in the silver and black, so I think that poll may be kind of skewed. I think Charles Woodson's older. Charles Woodson remembers a time when that meant something, the silver and black, when there was an intimidating factor to playing for the Raiders. That's gone now. And so I think younger players don't associate that with don't associate the Raiders with the tradition of the Raiders the way Charles Woodson still might. Anyway, interesting. Overall, I think not surprising, but an interesting poll.
Blindingly fast, 100 meters in 10.01 seconds. Usain Bolt just set the record at 9.88 for indoor 100-meter time. That is more than blindingly fast. That probably is Olympic qualifying fast.
I'm surprised then. The great thing is the 13th 100th of a second, which is like a negligible amount of time. It's like the time between this and this, right? It's right. But one of the guys is an elite runner and the other guy's just a guy who's kind of fast. That surprises me then that the Jets cut Jacoby Ford. Maybe he's hurt, and obviously you got to have some skill. The NFL has long gone after guys who can run but can't catch, and they never work out. But 10.01, generally the NFL has room for that. I've drafted Jacoby Ford, I think, twice in fantasy on the hopes that And he has a great name, Jacoby Ford.